Hi, this is Cheryl Mays from Rise and Shine CF, and today is another day for us to continue on our journey of thinking Lean Six Sigma. But I do want to start out with, I hope everybody is safe and just staying quarantined if necessary, just staying safe for everybody that's out there, our neighbors, our friends, and our families. And there are some great things that are actually going on. I always wake up every morning and watch Good Morning America so that I can see what's actually happening around the world. And there is so many individuals that are just stepping up to the plate and sharing their genius that was used in one way, and they're repurposing it and using it in another way to help businesses, to help individuals, to help communities. And so it is always great to see that. This morning I saw one. I always like to mention something that I've seen. And this morning they did a story about medical students, how they've created these chapters throughout the world where they are providing healthcare services for our staff that are in the medical industry. So the doctors and the nurses and everyone else on that support staff that has to have those continuous hours of going to the hospital and looking for child care. The medical students are actually providing child care. So I think that is fabulous. And so there are so many great things going on. So when we think about isolation, we also have an opportunity to think about what could we be doing. I met a neighbor this morning and she is actually crocheting blankets for the hospitals. So everybody is doing their part. And that's a great thing for us as a humane society. And so one of the reasons why I started having these sessions on thinking lean was to think, what else in my power could I do? And I thought about, one of the programs that I offer, and that is to think lean using Lean Six Sigma, and how businesses can actually think about sustainability as we are going to, when we recover, and we are going to recover. Now is the proactive opportunity to start thinking about how can I cut costs, how can I maintain my customers, and how can I keep my employees? And that's what Six Sigma does. And so over the past several days, I have actually taken on a component, an introductory course in plain English of how Six Sigma operates, who does it work best for, what is the process behind it, the thinking process behind it. And you've had an opportunity to kind of see those videos. If you haven't, you please have an opportunity to go back, see videos 1 through 5. This is 7, so 1 through 6. And it will give you an idea from beginning to, we're not even at the end, but it'll give you that introduction concept of Lean Six Sigma. And so today what I wanted to do was to do a snapshot. So I am going to call this one, Thinking Lean Six Sigma in a Snapshot. So where we started out was, and I'm going to do this really simple. I love the ability to understand it and to present it in understandable terms. And so I'm going to do it in a who, what, when, where, why fashion. So we're going to follow that, and I'm going to help you see Six Sigma in a different way if you have not been introduced to it before, and if you have, to kind of get you thinking again about, am I truly using it to the magnitude that it could be used for my company, my employees, and my customers. So we're going to get started with the who. Now, I always ask these questions prior to every segment so that you start thinking about, how does this apply to me? Is this something that I should even be considering? And so here are the questions for you. Is there a better way for you to run your company? Do you have any potential areas of waste? Now, you might want to go back to segment 1 where I actually talk about all the areas of waste. So it gives us a more global look at what waste could be versus just thinking materials. So check out one of those earlier videos, and that'll be an answer to that question. Is there room for improvement in your efficiency, flow, and speed? And we're going to talk about that. But do you have room to actually make your processes simpler, shorter, allowing your products and your services to get to your customers quicker? And the other one is there an opportunity to maximize value to the customers? And a lot of this, the main facet of Lean Six Sigma is customer first thinking. And that is actually what I call that third eye. When you take that third eye and you look at things from the outside and you look at the internal processes and you see where are there areas that could actually be improved, because we are all a customer of someone else. And we do process thinking every single day. When we go into a store, we look at the quality, we look at the cleanliness of the store, the service of the employees, the amount of products that they have. We look at all of that and we make a decision. And that's what customers do every day. So that is the who. If you are looking at those questions and there's still room for you to go, I wonder if this is something for me to look into, then you are one of those individuals that would need to listen and to take more information down to actually understand Lean Six Sigma, and then have someone come in and speak to you. Now, the why. Why would I want to consider? Why would you, as a business individual, want to consider Lean Six Sigma? There are 3 reasons. The first reason is customer retention. Now, there's a formula that you can apply to your customer retention rate and see how many customers you actually retain at the end of each period. So there's a formula that will allow you to do that. But think about customer retention. 80% of our business should be customer retention referrals, where 20% of our business should literally be acquiring new business. And how do you do that? How do you retain those customers? You have to know what they want. So you have to look at the voice of the customer. And we talked about that through forums, through customer surveys, through listening to complaint calls that will allow you to find out what is it that the customer deems to be of value. What is it that they are going to accept as a reasonable amount of speed from the time they place their order to the time they receive their order or service? And what is it that they deem to be an acceptable cost for that product or service? And so when you look at that and you add value to that piece right there, your customer's values, your customer's wants and needs, then you have the ability for customer retention. That's one of the main reasons for using Lean Six Sigma as an improvement plan. The other one is your employees' capabilities. You know, today there's a Gallup poll and it states that 76% of employees are disengaged. So they're coming to work every day and they are just kind of going through muscle memory. And so there is nothing that is stimulating to them. There's nothing that is allowing them to feel as though they're being developed, that they're growing both professionally and personally, and that they have the ability for advancement because they can look at the company through a different set of eyes because they are a part of the team. Another major facet of using Lean Six Sigma is that it is people-centric. And we talk about some of the myths of Lean Six Sigma, but for employees, it truly enhances their capabilities because they become a part of not only a team, but they become the ambassadors of the company. And they actually make the decisions about the improvement processes because where does most of the information come to or come from? And that's the front line because they're the ones in immediate contact with the customers. And they're the ones that knows what the customers are actually looking for. So that's how it enhances your employee capabilities. And then your profit margin. It increases your profit margin because it allows you the ability to cut costs. Think about cutting costs. When you have the ability to cut costs, and we're talking about cutting costs through the process stream, you now have the ability to save your employees. So it reduces employee turnover and it reduces your need to let employees go because of cutting costs. You have now looked at another opportunity. Oftentimes when things go wrong, we look for a person to put at fault. When you start thinking customer first and start using a lean process thinking, then you start to ask yourselves, what's the process? What happened in the process? And you start to look there first before you look at the human. You know, Eric Deming is a doctor, and he has done massive amounts of work on Lean Six Sigma in Japan. And he actually came up with a rule, and it was the 96-4 rule. And it says 96% of the issues are actually in the way the work is done. 4% are perhaps under the control of the individual. So with that being said, it would be mindful of us to actually think about that and go, okay, let me look at what I can control. And that's the process. The other thing that it does is it allows you to eliminate your waste. It allows you to eliminate your variations. When we talk a little deeper into this snapshot about what customers are looking for and how to improve your processes, that's what it does. And when you eliminate waste, that is another way of saving you money. So that is also allowing you to increase your profit margin. The other thing that happens is when you cut costs, you can keep the price the same, but your profit margin will increase because you are spending less time, spending less waste in various areas of that process stream. So those are the reasons why you would really want to look at Lean Six Sigma. Now, what is Lean Six Sigma? Well, let's first debunk some of the myths. It is not a difficult project to understand. It's not a difficult improvement plan. It is not another total quality management program. It goes far beyond that because it has sustainability. It does not eliminate employees. It actually enhances their capabilities. And it is not just for engineering. You can use it in any facet. You can have a pizza shop, a donut shop, a manufacturing company. So there are a lot of areas in which you can literally use Lean Six Sigma. Now, what is it exactly? What they did was they took Six Sigma and they took Lean and they combined the two. Six Sigma was one that was continuously striving for perfection. It was looking at quality, where Lean Six Sigma allows you to look at the process, the quality, the processing, the variations, the deviations, eliminating the waste, and allowing yourselves to have more focus on areas that would add to your customer value. Now, that's the what. Where can you do this? Well, there are keys to Lean Six Sigma. There are 4 major keys. The first one is in the delight of the customer. This is where you would apply these opportunities. In the delight of the customer, when you actually find out what is the customer considered to be quality. Because there are different definitions. I might deem quality to be a hotel that is rated 5-star. Someone else might deem quality to be a hotel that is clean, efficient, has great customer service, low cost, and close to the highway. So first you have to find out, what does your customer consider to be quality? And you do that through focus groups, through customer sites, and through asking your internal customers also. And then also looking at the speed, the delivery, and what is an acceptable delivery method for them, an acceptable delivery time. Then you look at your improvement of your processes. You look at the flow. Is there some bottlenecks in the flow? Is there a streamlined connection from what the documentation says to the actual workstation and the individuals to the resources that are actually available? So is there a connection through all of that? Or are there bottlenecks or constraints, things that can be eliminated? Then it helps you to find your defects and your variations. Once you find out what is outside of the target market for your customers, and then you find out what is their acceptable area. So this would be the target. This is their acceptable area. Anything on the opposite ends of my hands is in that variation and defect mode. So those things are waste, and you find out what those things are, and you have the ability to put an improvement plan in place. Now, then we talked about the teamwork, and those are the individuals that are put together for this project. And they're the ambassadors of the project. They're the ones that's going to go out. They're going to talk to their departments. They're going to talk to other individuals and tell them why this is not just another improvement plan, but it is something that is going to help everyone. It's going to help the customers. It's going to help the company. They now speak the language as everyone in the organization should speak the language of Lean Six Sigma, so that every day everyone is moving to whatever the strategic goal is. And that's part of what that teamwork does. It allows people to learn how to be on a team effectively, how to actually make decisions, how to adhere to the team rules for respect and ideal sharing. It allows individuals to be creative, to brainstorm. So this truly enhances your employees' capabilities. And then we talked about the foundation. That is the fourth key to using Lean Six Sigma. And that's the data and facts. Everything that happens in this Lean Six Sigma project is based on data and facts. You know, when you think about it today, you always hear all of the medical folks that show up on television. They always say, we're going to allow the data and facts to give us to find out the issues of the problem, so that we know if the solution would even work. We're going to wait and see what the data and facts reveal. And so that's what Lean Six Sigma is based on, data and facts. So now when you are talking to your stakeholders, you have the ability to say, we have the data that we collected from our customers that shared with us what their value was, what they wanted, what they would pay for, what they would accept, and what they deemed to be quality. We've asked them what they wanted. We've made our improvement processes to deliver. And we have based all of that on the facts that we received. And now those facts that you've gotten from all those brainstorming sessions can be used further down the line to make other improvements, because the entire goal is to get to Six Sigma. And that gives you a 3.4 defect per millionth opportunity. So basically what that means is you are at like 99.996% defect free, which means you are truly operating to the delight of your customers. You are minimizing, you are saving money on your cost, and you are allowing your people to be growing and developing in their positions, which creates employee loyalty, reduces employee turnover. That's the benefit of Lean Six Sigma. Now, I asked you again those questions in the beginning. When do you decide whether or not you need to use Lean Six Sigma? And here are the questions. Is there a better way for you to run your company? Do you have any area for potential waste? Is there room for improvement in efficiency, flow, and speed? And can you add value? Can you maximize the value to your customers? If you can look at those questions and you have room to think and ponder on it, then you should think about using Lean Six Sigma. If nothing else, you now have a better understanding of how it works, what it is. My name is Cheryl Mays, and I am from Rise and Shine CF. We train to make better leaders, better employees, and better processes. And we want your company to be sustainable. And so this is our opportunity to share our area of genius. And we look forward to seeing you at another segment. I will now go into how to actually implement Lean Six Sigma. And again, plain terms, plain English, so you can understand it, so that you have idea about how it works, what it's best used for. And if you are interested in reaching me, you can go to my website at www.rising-and-shining.com. You can respond to this Facebook in the message in the comments area. If you are watching it on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. That's right there, right there. There is a subscribe button, and it will allow you to be alerted as I continue to post these Lean Sigma segments. Have a fabulous day. Please share the video. Also, I think business owners, as we are looking at recovery, there's always room to learn more. And so it's an opportunity for a business owner during this time to kind of think about what is it they can do to cut their costs and streamline their processes. Cheryl Mays, Rise and Shine CF. Have a fabulous day.